Hey there, fellow dudes. My name is Parker, and once again, I'm back with Becky, and today we are watching episode 2 of Secret Invasion. Obviously, Becky, oh, hey, Barney.
And Barney's here.
Barney's here as well. Woo! We're a whole family. Oh. Okay, glad he walked across me for that. So, obviously, we had different opinions on episode 1 of Secret Invasion.
I don't think we had different opinions. I just think you think we had different opinions.
Okay, fair enough.
We liked the beginning. It started to fall off. It kind of rushed through some stuff. I was trying to be more positive and hopeful for the rest of the season, and you were like, there's no hope.
I guess since I'm just a little jaded by a lot of the stuff Marvel's put out recently, the standard and quality is just not there.
But I think that was like solely the second half.
I know.
And I think also, maybe...
Someone who's worked on a couple of Marvel projects now, I can tell you that it's run much more like a machine. I wasn't there for early projects. I would assume it was run differently, but everything is just chalked up to fix it in post, which is like the old saying that you never want to hear on a film set.
The phrase that's used half jokingly, half serious when it is used.
I don't think we should delay any longer. I think we should just jump on into this. This is going to be episode 2 of Secret Invasion.
Promises.
1995. It was a good year.
Been riding the desk for the past 6 weeks trying to figure
You
out
weren't alive.
coming from.
This is weird. It feels like a trailer.
You know, it's a recap of, obviously, Captain Marvel, but it's kind of weird that they're doing this in episode 2. This might have been something a little more, like,
fitting
before the series started.
Yeah.
But I guess that could have hurt the tone of the show as well.
I don't know. Because it almost feels like last time on Marvel, and then you start the show. It feels weirder here. Because it's like they're doing a flashback, but it's not new footage, and it's so quick.
Yeah. 2 years later.
97!
That was an okay year.
They don't even mention 96.
Brixton, London, though. Now that is a good place to be.
You ever been there?
Nope. DH Nick Fury? Let's go. With the eye patch. Love it.
Welcome.
I'd like you to meet someone.
I gotta say,
This is Gravik.
the DH technology... Oof, rejected. The DH technology is becoming so much better.
His parents were
Yeah,
killed in
it
less
doesn't
than
even look...
You can see it a little bit.
behind enemy lines. Piloted a ship
You
all
can
on his own.
It starts to look
Smart
funny
guy.
where there's the
Knows
light
how to
hits
spy.
him, where he has highlights on his face, but
We could use someone like him.
He's a child.
Only to human eyes.
Get a little flashback.
thought we already got that.
Yeah, but this is the
Sorry
villain.
about your parents.
Oh, it's
Brilliant death.
Gravik.
I'm sure they did.
I'm not afraid.
Interesting, so they know each other.
Well, they made reference to that.
I can see
That
it now.
Gravix was really upset when Nick Fury abandoned everyone and left Earth.
Yeah, but I thought it was just like he was not had a personal connection with him. He was just like, how
Thank you all
dare he,
for joining me.
This man,
They DH him too?
this man,
Crazy.
I trust. You know I don't use that word lightly.
Really leaning into the relationship of Fury and
Agreed.
Talos.
While you work to keep my home safe, Carol Danvers and I will find you a new one.
Name drop.
To be fair, it is kind of terrible that
Thank you, sir.
they make that promise but never commit to it. I'd be pretty pissed about that too.
We can relate. All the president's promise stuff, and they get into office.
Nick Fury is just another politician.
So they just taking like random people's forms right now that they've seen before?
Yeah, I guess so.
You keep your word,
I'll keep mine.
That was a good opening. Better than the recap.
Good. Yeah. They didn't need the recap if they were gonna do that. Back to old Nick Fury.
Too slow for the job.
Can't believe she played her father. So rude.
We need to dive more. We need to get more of that backstory, which I'm sure we will, but.
I'm an American. I'm an American. I'm an American.
Basically how all Americans act when they do anything wrong.
That line was probably only written once, and he was like, this is my one speaking line, I'm gonna really kill it.
Back to this generated AI.
Which
intro.
was funny that we made a joke that we were like, I wonder if AI made it, and then it literally was. You can just tell when something's not handcrafted, you know?
Also, it wasn't just AI that made this text, it was they used AI to incorporate it in their artistry.
Somebody had to teach the AI, tell it what to do, and just create it on their own and say, here, producers, we made this for you. What do you think?
Maybe in a couple years, though.
Американец. В поезде Москва-Варшава. Здесь больше шансов встретить инопланетянина.
She's an alien.
There it is.
Amazing. Now see, that's how I expected Nick Fury to dress when he got older. Still fancy, but definitely elderly. Stage or real train?
Stage, 100%. Blue screen on the other side, guaranteed. The only other thing it could be is an LED wall.
If it's blue screen, it's really good.
We couldn't go.
Yeah, I'm starting to think it might be an LED wall because there's a little bit of fluctuation on the light on his face when things pass by, but like also not enough that
Half hour after the train
that
pulled out
it's
there.
not on a stage.
Tell me something I don't know.
That was one of her favorites.
The one time she said,
Tell me something I don't know about you and Susie.
I like his impersonation of his mother. Tell me something.
No.
Man Jackson's born. Suffice it to say, I wouldn't. Tell me something I don't know about the destruction of Skrulls. You know everything there is to know about it. The name of the game is tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know about the Skrulls that fled. They're here. Who's here? All of us. Wait. You're telling me there's 1 million Skrulls walking amongst us right now? Have you lost your reptilian ass mind? Listen, Nicole. Every Skrull.
It's a pretty big thing to drop. It all here. 1 million of them.
But you find using us as your spies and your errand boys, as long as it's on your terms.
the host gets to set the terms of the visitation.
What happens when the host disappears? Huh? Because you were gone. And I didn't think you were coming back. I really didn't. My hope is that with your help, Skrulls and humans can coexist here on Earth.
Humans can't coexist with each other, Talos. Neither is this train compartment. I think this is your stop.
Dang. No.
But how are we gonna get the buddy cop show?
They always,
Oh my God.
the Skrulls always pick very attractive people to turn into. Have you noticed that?
Sure.
Just an observation.
R.I.P. You never did much in the MCU, but you were always there.
It was hard for me to take her seriously since right around when she joined the MCU, I had like just watched How I Met Your Mother. So she's just Robin to me.
That's fair, yeah.
Maria believed in you.
Maria, I didn't even know what her name was.
In Moscow, killing at least 2,000 civilians.
One suspect is currently in custody, identified as a leading member of the online fringe group Americans Against Russia. The UK Prime Minister was quick to
What?
Very on-the-nose fringe group.
Yeah, what a terrible group name.
That must have been why he was calling himself an American so much. We were laughing at that, but it's like, now Russia's gonna go against, you know, start a global conflict.
I fear you would be there.
I didn't. Well, not to a certainty. But I hoped.
True sign of a leader doesn't drive himself anywhere. Well, I should say a person in power.
Is that why I drive you everywhere?
I want to see their faces while Moscow's still burning.
If the shoe fits. It is called Passenger Princess for a reason.
We really need to learn more about our villain, you know.
Both of them.
Both of them, but specifically Gravik. I feel like there's not a lot of information on him yet.
I like this stage. It's fun design.
You wait.
Yeah, that's not happening. Grab it.
I'm not out in an hour. Shoot him in the head.
Gravik doesn't feel super intimidating. Like, he looks like he should be on AFC Richmond and Ted Lasso.
Seems someone didn't get
Doesn't he?
He definitely does.
Well, I also didn't get a formal invitation, Mr. Secretary General. But I'm sure that was just a curious oversight.
How they're all in suits and he's in like a bomber jacket.
Drinking the man's wine. Playing the man's game. Using the man's fork and knife.
Better to behave as a human than as a dog.
I quite like dogs. In fact, I prefer them. Dogs aren't hypocrites.
Speaking the truth.
Well, now I can get on board with him.
I totally relate with him.
So are all these people in this room
They don't go out of
scrolls?
their way to degrade
And know he's a
and destroy
scroll
them
or no?
Maybe we should watch.
A naive reading of human history.
What gives me the right?
I think that answers your question. Since they can live in high radioactive spaces, I'm wondering if he's trying to create nuclear war.
Unlike the last war, each one of us around this table fought in. I'm not
That'd be
gonna lose
smart.
this one.
And what happens if the Avengers return?
You don't think I thought about that? Put your faith in me. I promise. Your loyalty will be repaid.
We need to streamline our chain of command. We need a single commander whose war power is total and unchecked. Therefore, I nominate Gravik to the post of Skrull General.
Traitor. Who do you think you're talking to?
You know who he kind of reminds me
I can
of?
mobilize 1,000,000 troops and there's
The boss.
Oof.
Bob's boss in The Incredibles.
Well, they're giving in pretty easily.
He did just bomb an entire city or downtown area, so.
Our history. Homeless refugees because we were unwilling to wage war. We ended up homeless refugees because we were too willing. I do not support your coup.
Good
I
for
will
her.
not support your war.
Women are smart.
So they're just gonna let an enemy walk out now and share a bunch of information.
The council just voted him general. He has control of our people and our future. If there's anything I can do.
Yeah, set up a meet between me and Gravik. Public place.
Dallas, he will kill you. You don't understand. Gravik has changed.
So have I. Set up the meet.
Kind of sounds like the Shining music.
A little bit, doesn't it? I was trying to pinpoint, like, what does that sound
Sounds like The
like?
Shining. Da, 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 da. Her character's interesting. Like, she can't, like, half the time it feels like she's, like, in a position of power, and then half the time she just seems like this, like, puppy dog following the leader, trying to, like, be more important than she is. And I feel like it's not blending well.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out exactly where her allegiance lies to.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's to the Skrull Rebellion, but I just don't, I don't know. I feel like it's not making sense, her and Gravik's
relationship, there's something missing.
Yeah, something's off. And not like in an intentional way.
Mr. Nicholas Fury and Miss Maria Hill were
He looks so
present
happy to
in
be there.
Moscow at the scene of the attacks.
We are aware of allegations.
I feel like that's his attitude in everything on MCU. His character's always like, I don't want to be here.
He's the one that always gets put in like in these courtrooms after the fact. He's the courtroom avenger.
Yeah. He has to deal with all the crap.
Authenticity of Russian supplied photos at face value. However, I will be more than happy to have them analyzed at our facilities at Langley.
How do you explain Mr. Fury's presence in Moscow?
Alleged presence, madam.
Why are you here, Colonel? You are not a head of state.
Her green necklace, I think.
I was just thinking about, I wonder if every Skrull is always wearing some form of green. Like,
I doubt that.
it'd be kind of cool. Maybe his underwear is
While we are
green.
sensitive to your concerns, until such time as you can present an actual shred of evidence to back those concerns up, I'm afraid sensitivity is all you're going to be getting from us.
Time to go narrate my childhood.
Oh, I know.
Rioni.
We need to meet ASAP.
Great. Tell you what, let me just finish mopping up this globe-sized bucket of steaming hot caca you tipped over yesterday morning, and we can get a drink. That sound good? Burner's Tavern, 1 o'clock. Do me a favor and try not to pop off a nuclear holocaust before you get there.
That's a fancy barn to get a pat down when you walk in. That's a cool bar though. Oh, I think it was
Should I be worried about
his people, not the bars. Patting him
You should be worried
down.
about spending the rest of your days in the Siberian retirement community. Trust
He
me.
finally got his bourbon.
Don Cheadle knows what he likes.
They're trying to stop the attack.
Oh, well, excellent job at that, by the way. 2,000 dead so far.
Have we had much interaction between them two? I feel like I don't. I feel like they are a good pair.
How well do you know your security detail?
I know they're catching bullets first if I get shot at.
What if I told you they were all spies?
Spies for who? The Russians? Hydra?
Yeah, if Hydra was a bunch of green guys who could shapeshift into your daddy.
He's got some good one-liners in this.
So how long have you known about them?
About 15 years ago, I was part of an eyes only top secret presentation.
15 years ago, is that
Pentagon
like
was concerned that
Iron
they
Man
might go in
times?
their heads to,
Basically.
invade
Well, because it's technically like 10 because there's the 5-year blip.
That's not possible.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but it's true. And here's the crazy part.
You can
We're
cut
being
that out.
invaded, and we can't.
Maybe we should call our friends.
No. We can't jump the gun on that. You know, we get them in a fight with the Skrulls, and next thing you know, they find themselves duplicated and turned into terrorists. This is my war, Brody.
Nah, get the Avengers in here.
Who do they call? Who's the Avengers? They don't even know each other.
Doctor Strange.
I just spent all the
Wong.
I guess they still know Spider-Man. They don't know Peter Parker, but Wong knows She-Hulk.
You see that?
See?
Oh, so
Where's
is
that?
that it?
We owe each other.
The new Hawkeye doesn't know anybody.
Men who look like us don't get promoted because of who our daddies know. Every ounce of power we wrestle from the vice grip of the mediocre
Wanda's in a cabin.
Alexander Pierce's who
No,
run
Wanda's
this
dead.
world was earned in blood. Did you even listen to a word that I said?
Yeah, I have. The world is on the line. The enemy is 1,000,000 times more dangerous than Hydra, but they can only be vanquished by you. Reason we wrestled this power from mediocre men who don't look like us was not simply to turn around and hand it to mediocre men who do. The point of this power, and to tell him without any reservation that he's fired. That's what this moment right here, right now is about then.
You can't
Is it you
fire Nick Fury.
to fire me?
Nobody sent me. I volunteered.
Either he's
You
a
earned all this.
Skrull right now, or this character flip is like really intense. Like, I get the ramifications, but you gotta understand when Nick Fury's in the middle of something, there's something bigger going on.
Also, you saying I fire you, Nick Fury, doesn't change anything about what he's gonna do.
You wonder why you're out. I'm Nick Fury. Even when I'm out, I'm in.
Exactly. Come on.
Don Cheadle, you gotta know that, man.
What is his character's name?
I don't know, but it's War Machine is the...
Yeah, but his actual...
Brody. He's not having a good week.
Oh, our friend's back.
Yes, and now that the door is unlocked, what does that tell you about me indoors?
That's good. What is she up to? Oh my gosh.
Where is your safe house?
Didn't your mother ever warn you you could lose an eye by beating your meat like that?
What are you doing in here?
I'm taking over.
Да, алло. Да, конечно. Да, я понял.
So who's her boss? Kind of thought she was a boss.
Scrolls.
The answer to everything. In Sunday school, answer's always Jesus. In Marvel, the answer's always Scrolls.
Where is the escape hatch in this dump? Oh, wonderful. Okay. Make yourself scarce. Alone at last. Now, shall we do this the easy way or the other way?
I'm gonna break these chains.
The other way it is.
Ooh, nice.
Those are some sharp scissors. Very clean cut.
That's confirmed.
Well, there's a butcher shop.
But scissors to cut through bones? Usually you use a cleaver.
Well, we don't know if scrolls have bones. Have you studied the anatomy of a scroll?
No, but things without bones can't stand up.
Unless they have something else. Groot.
Diamonds. Groot.
That's what that said.
Oh.
Checking the progress of our newest recruit.
Groot.
We'll be ready for a face.
Imagine.
I'll never talk to you.
That's very brave. But everyone talks when their blood starts to cook at 160 degrees centigrade. The smart ones start talking earlier than that. You a smart one?
I love her banter.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
In the booty. More muscle gets to the bloodstream quicker, I'm pretty sure.
I'm afraid, sorry dear heart, I can't work
You know what I'm trying to wrap my mind around? Is if there's a million scrolls out there, when they die, they transform back into their original, like, thing. You tell me there's not one of those million that got hit by a car by accident and died or something?
What kind of machine?
And then, like, that didn't just break the news or... you know what I mean?
Who's leading the science?
Some married couple.
What's their name? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but if I don't get a name, Graphic won't get the chance to kill you.
Just love how, like, unwavering she is.
Dalton? The name's Dalton.
He's dead. Here come the scrolls. Coming to rescue their... Oh, that was a nice cut.
That's the way the sound effect sounded like it was...
That was good.
Just him cutting, dang.
Every once in a while, this show gives me something really nice. That was it for this episode. Ooh,
that was it?
Little POV shot. Actually, I will say, I think this episode has been better than the first one. The pacing has been...
Better pacing, some good little banter and dialogue.
Still not the greatest, but...
Still a little all over the place, but...
better.
Yes.
Sounds like your lift is here.
That's what I said. I felt like they wanted to rush to get to this point.
I'll come with.
No. You stay here. They might come out with Brayden.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Yeah, not a lot of like hand-to-hand combat anymore in Marvel because everybody has superpowers. So they just beam stuff at you.
Or like when you say normal hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of low-key love her.
I love her.
Kind of felt like a John Wick movie right there.
Got him! Let's go!
What'd you tell him?
Nothing, just lies.
Nothing. Just lies.
That's all, I swear.
He's gonna kill him. He sees through his lies. Or not.
Not your best guess.
I mean, that floor is open in the ground. I'm surprised he's not, like, having someone just go down there, you know?
Keep driving.
A little bit of sus leadership decisions throughout this episode.
Well, he's not. He's like fueled by like rage. He's not gonna make sane decisions. Poor guy in the back seat needs some medical attention. They're going into the woods.
That's where you get the best medical attention.
Yeah, that's what movies tell you.
Oh, now they're gonna kill him.
Oh, they're gonna kill him. They didn't want to leave his body behind.
Oh, I was right, baby. See?
But he's not gonna kill him. He's gonna make his dudes do it. Is he asleep? He's just sleeping. And they just leave the skull body there? They must be on their own property.
You got a good point for not wanting to like leave the body behind, but just to like shoot it and like not dispose of it. Like,
Yeah,
there's a
it's not
hiker.
like he took time to like then go put it, bury it or something. He just shot him and walked away.
It's for the efficiency of the runtime.
Is that the lady that brought Gravik to him in the beginning? Be an interesting way to wrap this up. Oh, those bookcases with the books and
Guess we're moving.
these set designers are killing it.
With the color coordination of the books.
Love it. Oh, she changed.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Is this Susie he was talking about?
Almost.
Do you think he knows she's a Skrull?
I don't know. This is an interesting place to leave the episode.
That's interesting. I wonder if he, because at first I was like, oh wow, he's married to a Skrull, so like he clearly has stakes in the game. But I don't know if he knows, because why would she change her form?
That's
At first I thought it was like she didn't know who was coming in, so she changed her form. But then I thought she was going to change
But if
back.
she changed back, yeah. He's got to know, though. Even if she thinks he doesn't know, I feel like he's got to know. It's just Nick Fury. Nick Fury knows.
But it's old Nick Fury, Parker. He's not on his game.
Well, young Nick Fury's probably the one who married him. Or her.
I thought it was going to be he was coming to visit the lady that brought Gravik to him.
Are we sure it's not still?
But then wouldn't he know who she had?
She could change into anyone.
Guess that's true.
So it's still a possibility.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at the images of that lady and then the lady in the beginning.
Alright, so that was episode 2 of Secret Invasion. Becky, initial thoughts, reactions?
It was good. I thought it was better than the first one. It had, I think, a little more depth to it. There's still some stuff I feel like is not fully fleshed out. And some of it I feel like maybe is intentional and some is not. Like Gaia, her relationship to Gravik just feels off in an unintentional way. But then like Olivia Colman's character, she feels intentionally still mysterious. Of like, who's her boss. Apparently Gravik has a boss because that dude gave her a name of somebody. So I feel like that's where it's like purposefully mysterious to the audience, but there's a few things that I feel like are just being missed.
Definitely crumbs that are being placed throughout this episode to reveal and lead to bigger things. At the same time, I said this last episode, and I'm going to say this again, this show thinks it's more complex and smart than it actually is. Like, it feels pretty straightforward, and it's like, oh, a little twist here, a little twist there. And, like, it has some good little twists in it, like the very end of this episode, the tease with Nick Fury's wife. Like, that's interesting, but how far is that really going to play into the story?
Yeah.
Besides being, like, a little tease. And again, sometimes I just wonder if some reveals are happening too quickly. Like you said, I think this episode was a lot better paced. They really slowed it down, and I have to agree with you. I think they were just trying so hard in episode 1 to get to where they are now so that they can actually start telling their story.
Which I think was, like, you could tell in the first episode that that's what was happening. Like, they were just trying to, like, they have all this kind of setup that they need to do, and they were like, who cares, let's just get through it so we can get to what we really want to say.
I just feel like they're still not capitalizing on the fact of, like, really leaning into, like, the scroll stuff of who can we trust, who can we not. Like, I would love to be sitting down with Don Cheadle's character, War Machine, and being like, is he a scroll? Like, literally, I want to be guessing with everybody, and that's not what they're doing.
You can kind of tell who's a scroll and who's not, and I don't know if they're trying to make us question if everybody's a scroll or if that wasn't something they thought of. Because like you even said with War Machine, he's like, you're like, wow, this is kind of a change, like an abrupt change of character, but it almost just feels like that doesn't feel like they're trying to make you question if he's a scroll. It's just like, oh, he's fed up.
Yeah. I like some of the political things that they're trying to do. It's still somewhat kind of like cut and dry, basic political movements that they're making. Bomb Russia, make them think it's America. Like, there's nothing really complex about it. But you can start to see where their game plan is going and how they, quote unquote, are going to take over this planet.
I did like that we're not getting still a lot of Gravik. We know he met Nick. We now know he like had a relationship with Nick Fury.
Which I really liked that opening sequence.
Yeah, that was good. But we still don't know a lot. I'm glad that we found out that his goal is to like make Earth their new home and get rid of humans and take over. I thought that was like nice to know like a little bit more of like, okay, what's his actual like motive here?
Yeah.
Other than just like, I'm bitter and upset.
It's kind of though, like he falls into that classic Marvel trope again of just like villain who wants to destroy the world and like kill humanity. You know? Like there's a little bit, like I understand a little bit of his motivation. I think the opening sequence and, you know, the promises that Nick Fury created and hasn't lived up to is somewhat of a good motivation to understand his mindset.
Yeah.
But to get to a point now where he's like, I'm going to destroy the Earth as we know it and rebuild it as my own.
Well, I think that's where there's opportunity. Because he's not trying to like just like press a button and the Earth explode. Like he just wants to get rid of humans, which is something that's like common, like the disdain for humans. But I think the fact that he wants the planet and he wants to get rid of the people that like inhabit it, I think that's slightly unique when it comes to like Earth. We've seen that with like other planets. So I think that's maybe a little different.
But it's still the same thing in a different skin.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think there maybe is more opportunity to find out a little bit more. And maybe there's more to him, but I'm glad we got like a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's not fully just like, ooh, mysterious, angry guy. But I do wish he was a little more complex. And I don't know if that's acting versus directing versus the character and the writing. I don't know which element's contributing to that, but
we'll see. Definitely some things to enjoy in this episode. It's holding my interest at least to see where it's going, but
which I think is nice because after the end of episode 1, I was like, I don't know. I liked the beginning. I didn't like the end. I didn't necessarily like want to come back for more if the whole episode had been like that second part of the first episode, but I'm more invested after this episode.
And you see the world crumbling around Nick Fury, and I'm finally starting to get a little more invested in that.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like it's happening in an inorganic way, and that's something I want to just bring up. Certain things in this episode and last episode just happen because the plot needs it to happen. Like Nick Fury getting fired so quickly and easily. That lady who decided not to join the Skrull Council, who like stood up and said, no, I'm not doing this, just like walking out and then giving information, like, just like stuff like that. It's like, okay, if she's not going to submit to him, she becomes an enemy. And so why are you letting your enemy walk out the front door and call the opposition?
Yeah, that was weird.
Besides the fact that they want to get Talos and Gravix together, and that's
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. It's
I think you could have her walk out, but I don't think they gave us enough for it to be a reasonable reaction. Like, I think if you did it well, you could make that make sense, but it didn't make sense.
I like the train sequence too early in the episode with Fury and Talos, and just tell me something that I don't know, and that reveal, that was a great reveal.
Yeah.
That really like raised the stakes
of how many Skrulls there are on Earth.
Again, it's good and bad. It's just kind of a hodgepodge.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see where this series continues. I think the unfortunate thing is it's not living up to its potential. And I think a lot of hardcore comic fans who are close to this source material, which is not us, but who are close to the source material, would also agree with that sentiment.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, guys, what do you think? Episode 2 of Secret Invasion. Let us know in the comments below. And if you like these reaction videos, make sure to subscribe to Dude Reacts and Fellow Dude on YouTube. Until next time, guys, see you then.